What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a post that I just seen about a comparison. This comparison between LeBron James and Karl Malone. And so it says that all right. LeBron, after 26,210 shots, scored 36,240 points, right? And then under that it says Karl Malone after 2,210 shots scored 36,928 points. And so now what this says to me is that Karl Malone was more efficient, in my opinion, more efficient than LeBron James, right? Karl Malone, number one, didn't shoot a whole bunch of threes. I don't remember even seeing Karl Malone attempt a three-pointer, but I'm sure he didn't shoot nowhere near the amount of threes that LeBron attempted. And so he shot the same amount of, he had the same amount of shot attempts as LeBron, but he outscored, he had more points. And so that meant evidently he's shooting at a higher percentage, and he's shooting a higher percentage, and he's shooting twos. He's shooting 2-pointers. LeBron is shooting all these 3-pointers and scoring less points, and I know people like with the analytics and everything, they say like if you shoot a certain amount of threes, then in the long run it'll pan out for you. But evidently that's not true. Evidently that's definitely not true when you look at this stat with Karl Malone and LeBron James. And another thing about Karl Malone played in the paint primarily. He had a low post game, and he had the he had a really good mid-range game. So if he was out on those wings or in like a 15-footer or 12 feet, he could knock those shots down, and was not afraid to play, in the paint. He was a bruiser, definitely was a bruiser. He wasn't afraid to play in that paint, and so. But for LeBron to be, the so-called GOAT, and to be in that conversation, and this stat right here, in my opinion, is very telling, because he is his shooting percentage is just not nowhere near what it should be, and I think it's harder to score in the paint, with all those big guys down there. You got to remember, Karl Malone played in an era, when Patrick Ewing, Dave Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, matter of fact, in the West. So in the West, you had Dave Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon over in the West. Shaquille O'Neal. Was Shaquille with Orlando then? But anyway, you had a lot of formidable big men, in the league then, and he still was getting it done in the paint. That's why, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people, in my opinion, I just think that Karl Malone was a better ball player, than LeBron James. And then with these people with this GOAT conversation, I don't get the GOAT conversation, far as, like LeBron being in there. I think once Kobe Bryant left the league, I just think that basketball just kind of fell off. To me, it just fell off because something was missing. Like the science of basketball was missing. And so, you didn't get the quality of basketball that people was used to. Like once Kobe retired, like supposedly the mantle or the baton was handed off to LeBron, but I don't think the quality of basketball was there. A lot of times what I've seen from LeBron James, instead of LeBron James trying to get better as a player, like what everybody else did back in the day, they got better. If Bird lost to Magic in the championship, then Bird will come back better the next year. If Magic lost to Bird, then Magic will come back better the next year. And then so that made, for the fans, that made a great product. You know what I mean? That made not only the anticipation, but you saw that, like these guys was on a mission. They was on a mission to to get better and be the best. But when you watch today's basketball, and I think with the exception of a few players, when you watch today's basketball player and these guys, they want to move to a better team instead of getting better themselves. They want to surround themselves with better talent instead of getting better themselves. And that, in my opinion, that's what hurt the game of basketball, because it's not allowing, like, in order for the game of basketball to grow and to maintain, the players, the people who play the game need to grow. They need to get better. And a lot of times these guys that, especially the franchise ball players, if you got a franchise ball player that don't want to get better, or just want to go to a team, a super team, that's what hurt the league, in my opinion, because you're not getting that same level of play, because your opponents is what push you. Just imagine if if Muhammad Ali didn't fight Joe Frazier or George Foreman or those guys, he just wanted to fight lesser opponents. Those guys pushed him, and he pushed them. And that's why you had those classic fights. That's why, like, when you watch, what's the guy named Floyd Mayweather fights are not like a Sugar Ray Leonard fight back in the day. They just wasn't, because Sugar Ray Leonard had to fight Marvin Hagler. He had to fight Tommy Hearns, Wilfred Benitez, Roberto Duran. All those guys was monsters. And if you wanted to be the best, man, you had to be on top of your game. But when you got people who Sugar Ray Leonard couldn't join forces with Duran or Hagler or Wilfred, but he had to beat them. He couldn't, you know what I mean? Ain't none of that in boxing. You couldn't duck those guys out. It's just too many of them. And same thing with Muhammad Ali fought. It was just too many great fighters that, you know what I mean, where you couldn't duck those guys out. He paid the price for it. Joe Frazier paid the price for it. But that's the life they chose. That's what they that's what they signed up for. When you got guys who, like, that's what they signed up for. And that's what fans appreciate, when those guys, man, just laid it all on the line. And you got guys today just swapping jerseys and shit. It's just, to me, it's just it's not the same quality of basketball that we are used to, as fans who watched basketball in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. That's just the quality of basketball that we used to. And so when people turn off the game and stop watching, it's understandable. It really is. It's understandable, because when you're used to a certain quality, that it's just not going to satisfy you. You're used to a certain a level of performance that you're not getting that. You just you go other places then for that excitement. And right now, that's not, like in the current NBA. You got a lot of talent in there, but you don't have the same level of I don't know, it's something missing. It just don't have the same level of knowledge and the same passion about the game. And so that's why, ratings are down for, you pass the baton from Kobe to LeBron, and then, that, you know, it's not there. And the NBA and ESPN, they try to manufacture it, but they, you know, you can't do that. You know, in order for you to, like I said, the players got to get better. Mike got better. Magic got better. Bird got better. Kobe got better. You know, and that's why people are so fanatical. Like you call Kobe the Black Mamba. That's why people were so fanatical about Kobe in LA, because Kobe he was just dedicated to the game. He got better. He just got better. You know, and what else can I say? Every year this guy got better. And then so when you hand it off to somebody who just want to take shortcuts, then it's not going to be there. And so that's my take on it. Like I said, I do feel like Karl Malone, in my opinion, is a better ball player than LeBron. And you know, I probably get some pushback on that, but it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, that's my opinion. That's my take on it. I'm sticking by it. And with that being said, don't forget to leave a comment. You know, let me know what you think about, you know, if you think Karl Malone was a better ball player than LeBron, or if you disagree. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.